Welcome to ITV Gold, Dr. Neeta Jain. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, we have to have you. You are a candidate for City Council in New York's District 24th, and you're running for a seat of a councilwoman. So, just starting off this interview, I have to ask you what truly inspired you to run for this candidacy, and what do you hope to bring through your candidacy for the community?
All right. First of all, brilliant question. And you know me for a long time. I'm a community leader. I'm a civic advocate. I'm also an elected district leader from this area where I'm running for city council right now. I have seen this community from very close for 30 years, not 1, 2, 3, or 5 years. Since I came to this country, I migrated in 1992. Since then, I'm involved in community service. I was lucky and honored to be on ITV for a long, long time for our school children, for special needs children of our schools. So, as my background is also, I have a PhD in psychology. I also have a mental health counselor licensed from New York State. So, I've been serving this community in so many different ways. I'm also involved in a lot of different nonprofit organizations,
Right.
religious, social, and cultural organizations. As you know, I'm a past vice president of Jain Center of America, which is the first Jain temple in whole North America. Currently, I'm a senior vice president of Hindu Center, which all sits in this district right here, where I serve as a district leader or I'm
Right.
running council, right? I'm also a delegate for DNC delegate for Joe Biden and Harris from New York State. I also serve this community where I'm running for as a president of Daniel Patrick Moynihan Democratic Club.
Oh, wow.
So, and professionally, I work with the school system. I work with the school going children for more than 25 years
Right.
as a school psychologist, as a bilingual psychologist, and specifically, I served my South Asian community as a bilingual psychologist.
Yes.
And you know, the need was there, need is still here, and need will be there.
Yes.
Because of this pandemic, it made this worst. During this whole pandemic, I've been out almost every day. People are calling me left and right for so
Right.
many different reasons. They need help. They need
Yes,
help.
of course.
Schools, children need help. Parents need help.
Yeah.
Their administrators need help. Their educators need help. So small businesses need help.
So you're there
Seniors
for
need help.
them.
You know,
That's why
and
you're
I'm
running.
for them. And if you go on my website, people are posting different questions. Like today, I just read one question. Some senior posted that they need vaccination. They don't know where to go. So
Right.
this is what I'm doing for all my life.
Okay.
I'm
So,
also an advocate for women's right for big
yeah.
time. I'm very vocal for domestic violence victims, which I'm serving that community also for almost 30 years. I've been taking care of a lot of domestic violence
Right.
victims in our own community.
Yes.
And the seniors, of course, I work with senior centers very closely in my district, both district City Council District 20 and 24 both falls in my district leader district.
So
So
you've
I
been
work.
leading basically in this whole thing, and that's why you're running for council. That
Yes,
is
definitely.
really,
So
really good.
how many things you can, there's hundreds of things you can make a difference
Right.
by serving this community, and that's the reason I'm running.
So let's talk about the diversity of District 24, Dr. Jain. Tell me about the South Asian influence you see in the district. How large is the population? And, when you're looking at the diversity of this district, what kind of communities reside there?
This is I believe this is the most diverse district in my whole Queens County. We have all different ethnic groups live in this district. As you know, even within South Asian, we have a lot of different. We have Pakistani, we have Bangladeshi, we have Nepali, we have Indian, right? All four definitely are there, and we are growing day by day. We have Jewish community, we have Hispanic community, we have African American community, we have Korean Chinese community. So we have all mix. But right now, I can tell you that immigrant community overall is increasing in this district. People
Nice.
are moving into this district a lot, and we have seen a lot of changes from 10 years back
Yes,
in
for
this
sure.
community. Community has changed, the people has changed, the races have changed, and so the needs are changed.
For sure. Let's just talk about these needs and discuss a little bit more on District 24th. I'd like to talk to you about the economic as well as healthcare ramifications of COVID 19 that you've seen in District 24th. New York was one of the hardest hit cities in the beginning of the pandemic, and we're still taking the burden off it. How bad was it for the communities in District 24th?
It was very bad, and I'm sure you have heard, even in your, in the beginning of the pandemic, Kew Garden Hills was very badly hit.
Right.
Pamnak was very badly hit. I'm just coming back from Pamnak, and I know why. And overall, this whole district, Fresh Meadow was very badly hit, and we didn't hear that much in Briarwood, but Richmond Hill also touches our district. Jamaica also is a part of our district. So overall, we can say that the overall district, overall Queens County, got very badly hit. But we have these two communities. They were really suffered a lot in the beginning of the pandemic. Now they got a little better. Now again, the surge is there, and people are getting more and more sick. So I just want to tell at this point right now, please be careful, please stay safe, please use mask. I was out there on, in my district, and I would say out of 10 people, only I'd say 7 people were not wearing masks. And I was doing mask distribution, and I said, please wear mask. It keeps you safe and other people as well safe.
Right.
There's a lot of need for education also on the health point of view. As I am a professional mental health person, I'm a professional health person, and I know that we have a long way to go on that personal ground. The healthcare, small businesses, what you just said, the economically, a lot of businesses are out. When I go out, I see shutters are down, people are not there, and some people, small businesses who came back to their doors, they are still suffering. They are like single person owned business. They did not get SBA loans in the beginning, right? Because they have no employees to show, they have no payroll to show. So there are people who really needs help, and I'm trying to help them as much as I can. I even told them that, after this 2nd February, I will bring professionals to help you, sit down with you and do the paperwork and whatever guidance you need. Education in every field right now, education is the most important part. When you say for the healthcare, when you say for the mental health, when you say for the small businesses, everywhere you need an education to tell people how to go forward.
When you're looking at the local and state government and you're looking at all of the issues in healthcare and economically that you're seeing in the district, is the local and state government able to help the communities enough? What kind of assistance do you think the district needs right now?
For example, I just said that this old senior lady posted on my Facebook, right, that she needs help. So she does not know where to go. We still have lot of information to give out. Look, these seniors are not sitting in front of the TV. They are not maybe reading the newspaper every day, right? So they don't have the information. So we have to make sure that these people are getting our proper information. These people should know where the resources are, how to get them. So this is a big problem. It's still a problem. And as I said that, the information, the resources has to be out there, and everybody should know about it.
What do you think the local government needs to do right now in your district?
In my district, as you know, that right now we do not have a city council member in our office. In my district particularly, the staff is working whatever they can capably doing, right? So we definitely need to take care of the small businesses. We need to take care definitely our schools, because I've been hearing, I've been noticing, and I've been seeing personally that people, kids who went all of a sudden, we all know that everything changed overnight. People sit down in their houses, kids sit down in their houses doing switch to remote learning overnight, right? Nobody was prepared. Nobody has, even till today, not everybody has devices to learn at home. So that is a very big problem right now. And I know that in my district that the kids are still suffering. The internet Wi-Fi is not that great. People are suffering with that also. So we have a lot of work to do, Aditi, at this point. And as a professional of mental health field, as a professional of psychological field, I know that you can take a Tylenol and your headache will go away, but mentally the people have suffered a lot at all age level, I would say. Kids have grown anxiety, okay? Adults are getting in drug abuse. Seniors are going through depression. So every single age has really suffered during this pandemic. And I have the capability, I have a knowledge, I know how to bring our community back. Right. And that's why my slogan of my party line in this election is a community first. I always put my community first. You know that I love to bring all the communities together, and that's my forte, which I'm doing for last more than 2 decades. I bring all different ethnicities together for so many different occasions. I do events, I do services which include everybody, not only one ethnicity.
Right. I'm going to go back to my previous question. Do you think the local, state, and federal government are doing their job right? Or do you think there's more assistance needed everywhere?
There's more assistance needed everywhere at every level, because we have a huge deficit in the city, right? Okay. And I don't know how they're going to do, but we are all looking at federal government at this point, because federal government has to help the state, and then the state has to provide those resources to city. So city council is the body who works directly with the community. Okay, but the resources come from them. Resources come from state and resources come from federal government. Yes, so we definitely are looking for help from the top. Yes. And we need help at every level.
Yeah, that is so true. I think that help is needed in so many parts of the nation.
I'm telling you, Aditi, when you go out and look at people's faces and hear their stories, and I'm telling you, it is heartbroken.
It is very heartbreaking. Yes. I want to discuss a few more issues with you, Dr. Jain, while we're here. My first issue that I want to discuss with you is racial justice. We saw a huge movement for racial justice last year. A lot of South Asian Americans have stood up for Black Lives Matter movement. They have stood up for, a movement against racism, against inequality. How are you going to handle the situation particularly? What are you going to do about the policing issue in the district?
The policing issue, as you know, that people are talking about, defunding police, right?
Correct.
And first of all, I don't like that word. And the second of all, that we definitely need law and order. So we cannot defund the police. We have to reform the police. We have to make so many changes within that law and enforcement line. There's so many things we can improve, and we can do it. Like we have a saying that if one apple in the basket is rotten, right, you will not throw the whole basket out, because you still can use the other portion. It's the same thing. We should have a more elaborate training for NYPD, and even after that, if they do get involved in this kind of behavior, they should be accountable for that. So I have a plan, and I have a plan of reforming, and I have a plan for community side also to work with this law enforcement, and where I'm going to create a task force once I get into this office. And the task force members will be coming from all different ethnicity, okay? I will be appointing people from all different races, all different ethnicity. One person will be representing on that task force board. And those people will be working, because it has to be culturally sensitive. I need to know my culture. You need to know your culture. Only then you can. That's why we have bilingual educational evaluators. We have bilingual psychologists. We have bilingual, counselors. Why? Because that person, if you are a Hispanic person, and if you are treating a Hispanic child, you can understand the actual need and the background and where this child is coming from, right? So you can serve that child better than me. So it's the same thing. That's the whole concept, because I've been working in this line for a long time. So I know how culturally sensitive things and issues you have to take care. So
Right.
that's the reason I will represent all the ethnicities on this task force, and they will work with our local precincts.
Right.
And that's where they can explain them, you know, that this is our culture, this is the behavior coming from this culture, this is the behavior coming from that culture, and then they can explain that it's good or bad or whatever it is, how to take care of it. So there's always pros and cons, but we should always look for positive side,
Right.
and we should always hope for the best. And that's one of my very biggest plan, which I am having right now.
Right.
And same plan I have for small businesses, same plan I have for our school system as well.
So do you support the Black Lives Matter movement as of now?
Of course.
Yeah, it's very important for us to see what's
As you know,
happening.
I wanted to mention here that I am also a founder and member, president of a non-profit organization called International Ahimsa Foundation, which promotes nonviolence and peace, equality, and harmony in communities. And I work with children very closely. I do a lot of activities year round with the school going children. I was working with one of the public school in my district, actually from last year, with their assistant principal, and we were trying to promote this kind of education within the school system.
Right.
And that's what I do in private schools, international schools, and they want me to bring this to their school, so we can talk about how to resolve conflict without any violence, without any hurting of other people.
Yeah, and I like the take on education you have. It's so important for us to make sure every New Yorker gets access to education and has all of the resources. Let's now talk about, Dr. Jain, the issue of housing and evictions. It's like a major issue in District 24. What are you going to do about handling that? What is the biggest solution to that issue?
So right now, as you know, that we have the NYCHA, we have a huge the community lives in NYCHA, right? And these people they get the tokens, right? But the tokens are not enough to keep them in their houses. And during this pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs, so they are not able to even pay rents. Right now, we have resolution that you don't have to pay rent till May. But what after that, right? So we definitely have to invest in our public housing. We definitely have to invest more in our affordable housing, and we have to make sure that these houses are developed by unionized laborers. So that is another thing. When you do the development in your district and you involve these laborers who live in your district and they are unionized, you get job done better and faster, and it's long lasting. That is another thing. So there are a lot of aspects of housing are there which we have to take care.
Right. Another issue that's really impacting brown as well as Black voices in the community is the issue of food insecurity. How bad is that issue in District 24th? And what are you going to do to combat hunger in District 24th?
It is a very serious issue, and I have seen personally, as I said, that I was there when we were distributing food before Thanksgiving, and I have distributed food on other occasions as well, and lines were never ending, I would say. And so that shows that how many people really need food. And as I said, that I'm also a member and the president and vice president of different organizations. And when we started distributing food, we have seen, like, my God, how much need is out there. And especially when the people don't have jobs, people don't have homes to live in at this point, and they are just on the streets. We have even served almost 200 students, foreign students, who contacted us at Hindu Center. And they said that they don't have food to eat. They really don't have money to go and buy, and they were foreign students. And it was, as I said, that it is really a heartbroken thing when I saw and heard these things. But we came out as a group, and we helped them. We gave them grocery, we gave them cooked food, whatever we could. Right. And so this is a big problem, and this is going to be there. So we definitely have to provide them food, more like whoever is qualified for food stamps, we have to provide them food stamps. And if they are not qualified for, and on top of that, other thing, that food has to be healthy. Okay, so that is one other my thing that I'm going to take on, that whatever foods we are serving, either in in these housings or in a school system, the food has to be healthy, food has to be really modified for a healthy future.
Yes.
So that is another thing I definitely want to work on.
I just have 2 more questions left here for you, Dr. Jain. What is going to be the priority issues on your agenda if you were elected to this council position?
Very good question. As I go back again, so priority, I would say like four of them are my priority issues in my district at this point. Health, mental health. That is the biggest issue, and which I am going to take care. And that I'm going to work on it. I have a couple of things in my mind which I'm going to implement once I get into the position. And the second thing, definitely education. I want to make sure that our community, especially as you said, that the people of color, the minorities, and overall, all the schools should be fully funded. Specifically in my district, I want to make my district as an example, as a model for the whole city. And I will do that. I know that I can do it. The third thing, definitely small businesses. I want to bring these small businesses who are closed, who are moving away from the district, who are moving away from the city even. I want to bring them back, keep them in their houses, and give them some kind of incentive. We have to work on when we have the budget in front of us on the table. And I know that I have an ability to work with other council members, as I already worked with them on different issues with the council members. And the fourth one is the safety. Safety is definitely an issue, and I have to work on it. As I said, that with the task force, I want to bridge the gap between community and the law enforcement. And one more thing, that our district is known as a transportation desert, and we have only we have only 5 subways, and most of the people live in 2 fare zone. So that is also a big issue. And right now, as the budget cuts are there, the economic losses are there, I will make sure that our district will not get budget cut on transportation. Because right now, the people who are living in my district, if they have to go to Manhattan every day for work, they spend on an average 1 hour every day. Right. If they cut off the bus service, if they cut off the train service, right, then this commute will become more than 1 hour. And that is not really good. So these are the couple of issues which I have prioritized on my list of agenda. And I'm ready to work on them for day one, because I know how to get there, and I know how to bring other council members on the table to resolve these issues.
And finally, my last question to you, Dr. Jain. You're being watched by a lot of South Asian Americans right now, even in District 24th. How do you want them to help you?
Just come out and help me make sure that I'll be elected on February 2nd, because as you know that I've been working with government for all these years, for a long time. It's a long time, and as a professional, I'm the only one who has a knowledge of our background of mental health and psychology. I know what works for the people. I know what works for kids. I know what works for children. And as you know that I'm also the advisory board chair for India Home, which is the first South Asian senior center. We are serving at JMC our seniors. I go on Zoom whenever they need me. I do counseling session. I do meditation session with them. They get so happy. I work with other Asian senior center as well. So just come out, and my website is there. My Facebook is there. Social media is out there. Just write on that. There's a option that if you want to volunteer on my campaign, please write it to me. Go on my Facebook, Neeta Jain for New York. Website is also same, neetajainfornewyork.com. Facebook is Neeta Jain for New York. My Instagram is Neeta Jain for CD24. And my Twitter handle is Jain_Neeta. So these are three of my platforms for social media. And follow me, come out and just help me, join me. I'm a public person and I'm a people person, and I love to work with everybody, and more the merrier. So if you get connected with me, we can make more forceful, our team, and we can win it and make a history.
Yes,
Make a history.
For sure. And everyone in that district, early voting begins January 23rd till January 31st, and the voting day is February 2nd. Polls open at 6 a.m. Dr. Neeta Jain, thank you so much for your time here on ITV Gold.
I just want to say, if you don't want to go out, you still have time to order your absentee ballots from nycabsentee.com, and just make sure that it has to go back with the postmark of February 2nd. That's all. And this is first time our election is RCV, means ranked choice voting, where you can give your vote to more than one person. You can rank your choice, like the you love the first person, then you like the second person, and you okay with the third person, kind of that. But you always have an option to just give to one person, but this is a ranked choice, so you should take an advantage of that as well. Yes, and thank you so much, Aditi, for having me. I hope I answered your questions. And if any viewer has any question, please write it to me, either on my Facebook or on my website. Yes, Neeta Jain for New York.
Yes. Well, good luck to you for your run. We look forward to having you again on ITV Gold.
Thank you so much, Aditi. Have a good one. Stay safe. Stay healthy, everyone.
Yes.